President Donald Trump has issued an ultimatum to Venezuela's military. U.S. President Donald Trump has appealed directly to the Venezuelan military to abandon their support for President Nicolas Maduro. In a speech in Miami, the president warned the eyes of the entire world were on those propping him up. Trump says that those who continue to back Maduro's government were risking their own future and life. Activists held a nationwide protest to demonstrate against President Donald Trump's declaration of a national emergency to secure funding for a U.S.-Mexico border wall. Trump invoked the emergency powers on Friday under a 1976 law after Congress declined to fulfill his request for $5.7 billion to help build the wall that was his signature 2016 campaign promise. The move was designed to let him spend money appropriated by Congress for other purposes. Democrats have vowed to challenge it as a violation of the U.S. Constitution.
All the walls have got to go. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. All the walls have got to go.
The dose of hate and fear.
All the walls have got to go. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. All the walls have got to go.
2 policemen were killed and 3 wounded when an explosive device carried by a militant exploded in the heart of the Egyptian capital, according to Ministry of Egyptian government. Security forces were pursuing the man as part of the search for the perpetrators of an attempted attack against police patrol in western Cairo. At least 3 civilians were also injured. Egyptian security agencies have been waging a campaign against Islamist militants over the past year, focused on Egyptian Sinai Peninsula. At least 22 people have died and another dozen injured in a bus accident on a highway outside the Bolivian city of Potosi. Traffic scenes showed the side of the bus severely damaged by the accident near Bolivia's Lake Pupo. The victims' bodies were wrapped in blankets and lined up on the ground before being taken to a morgue in Oruro. Local media reports that the crash occurred when the bus struck a truck parked along the side of the highway with no lights on. Seven Labour lawmakers quit over leader Jeremy Corbyn's approach to Brexit and a row over anti-Semitism. They say that Britain's main opposition party had been hijacked by the machine politics of the hard left. In a direct challenge to Corbyn, the 7 centrist MPs say that they were courting others from across Parliament to join their group, united by a desire for a second referendum on Britain's decision to leave the European Union. They acknowledged that their resignations would not change the arithmetic in the Parliament. The Vatican will gather senior bishops from around the world later this week for a conference on sex abuse. Chile is among the countries hardest hit by the abuse crisis, and Chilean Catholic Church was engulfed by scandal after a visit by Pope Francis in January last year that brought to the surface a string of abuse allegations. After initially dismissing some claims, the Pope later summoned Chile's bishops to Rome for questioning after a Vatican investigation reported that they had been guilty of grave negligence in investigating abuse in the church. Court in the Maldives ordered the arrest and detention of the former President Abdullah Yameen on suspicion of money laundering. Yameen, who drew the Indian Ocean island country closer to China during his rule, is accused of receiving $1 million of government money through a private company which has been implicated in a corrupt deal to lease the tropical islands. He denied the allegations after a 2.5-hour remand hearing. Prosecutors sought an order to detain the former president. The court ruled that Yameen, who appeared in prison, should be taken into custody. President Donald Trump now claims that there had been an illegal coup attempt against him. The president tweeted a quote from Fox News journalist Dan Bongino alleging an attempt to overthrow him. The tweet said, and I quote, "After 2 years and interviewing more than 200 witnesses, the Senate Intelligence Committee has not discovered any direct evidence of a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia," unquote. The message capped off a series of angry tweets about former acting FBI Director McCabe, who gave an explosive interview on CBS. One of Israel's most prominent Jewish politicians, former Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni, says that she was leaving politics ahead of an April general election. A former peace negotiator with the Palestinians, Livni won recognition abroad for her part in US-brokered talks that aimed to end the decades-old conflict and which collapsed in 2014. But her career has been floundering in recent years along with the Middle East peace process. The US plans to present a new peace plan after Israel's April 9 elections, with expectations of a breakthrough low. Palestinians condemned the Israeli decision to trim funds over militant stipends, in which Israel will cut around 5% of the tax handovers to the Palestinian Authority over its financial support for jailed Palestinian militants. Kadura Fares, head of the Palestinian Prisoner Club, says that the Palestinians will challenge the decision that could worsen an already existing economic crisis. Under interim peace deals, Israel collects taxes on behalf of the Palestinians, who put the current sums at $222 million a month. When negotiations stalled since 2014, Israel has at times withheld money as a measure of protest or pressure. Poland pulled out of a planned summit in Israel after Israel's acting foreign minister said many Poles had collaborated with the Nazis in World War II and shared responsibility for the Holocaust. Polish Prime Minister Morawiecki branded the remarks as totally unacceptable. He had previously said that he will not join Tuesday's gathering of Central European leaders in Israel, sending instead a lower-level delegation, but later said that no Polish officials would now attend. Japanese car maker Honda is set to announce the closure of its Swindon car plant with the loss of 3,500 jobs. Lawmaker Justin Tomlinson said that he had met with the business minister and representatives from Honda, who had confirmed the plans and that the decision was not related to Brexit. Honda built more than 160,000 vehicles at its British factory last year, where it makes the Civic and CVR models, accounting for more than 10% of Britain's total output of 1.52 million cars. The European Union said that it will react swiftly if the US President Donald Trump decides to hit EU car imports with tariffs. The EU also called on Washington to respect their joint commitment to refrain from taking any measures that would lead to the building of trade barriers. EU Commission spokesperson Margrethe Schinas was referring to a meeting held between Trump and the EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker on the 25th of July. After the meeting, US President said that Brussels and Washington would work together towards zero tariffs, zero non-tariff barriers and zero subsidies on non-auto industrial goods. The Shanghai-Hongqiao station, one of the major terminals on China's railway network, will soon become the world's first to be covered by the super-fast 5G network. Chinese tech giant Huawei said that it has been working to launch its first base station in the city along with China Mobile Shanghai, and announced the plans to equip the Shanghai-Hongqiao railway station with 5G services. The move will make the station the first in the world to have such technology. Saudi Crown Prince's visit to Pakistan has concluded. He is now in Riyadh, and he will be arriving in India tonight for a 2-day visit. Mohammed bin Salman will be on his first state visit to India. He will be accompanied by a high-level official delegation and leading Saudi businessmen. Wednesday will be the main day of the engagements of the visit. He will be accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Salman and PM Narendra Modi will oversee signing of 5 MOUs across investment, energy, tourism and housing sectors. Saudi Arabia will also join the International Solar Alliance. Opposition from farmers has prompted Maharashtra, this western Indian state, to move the location for what would be the country's biggest oil refinery. State-run oil companies in Saudi Aramco have teamed up to build the $44 billion refinery, which is aimed at giving India steady fuel supplies while meeting Saudi Arabia's need to secure regular buyers for its oil. But thousands of farmers are refusing to surrender land, fearing it could damage a region famed for its Alfonso mangoes, vast cashew plantations and fishing hamlets. After the protest, land acquisition has been stopped for the refinery at the proposed site at Nanar, some 400 kilometers south of Mumbai. The Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena announced that they will be fighting the 2019 Lok Sabha elections and the state assembly elections together. The announcement was made by Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, BJP President Amit Shah and Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray at a press conference. Announcing the seat-sharing arrangement, Maharashtra Chief Minister said that the Shiv Sena will fight on 23 seats while BJP will be contesting on 25 seats in the upcoming elections. The Reserve Bank of India has decided to transfer 28,000 crore rupees as interim dividend to the government. The surplus has been declared after a limited audit review. The dividend transfer is likely to help the government meet its revised fiscal deficit target of 3.4% of the GDP. It is the second consecutive year that the central bank has transferred an interim dividend. The surplus has been declared based on the economic capital framework. The surplus will be adjusted against the final account.